my darlings, I hope you're all doing incredibly well. I hope you are sitting comfortably, you're cozy, you've got your snacks and your beverages and your blankets and your candles and maybe a dog or a cat to cuddle up with. In today's video, I am of course doing another Tattoo Enthusiast reacts to tattoo TikToks. As always, I've got so many to catch up on. It's just a never-ending cycle. There's hundreds in my favorites, so when you tag me in something, I'll put it into my favorites or saved, whichever one it's called, and it'll just sit there until I react to it. And yeah, oh my god, yeah, there's a lot, but we'll get there. Maybe one day I'll catch up, okay? Maybe one day. But I just want to say thank you so much to everyone that does tag me in tattoo TikToks. I appreciate you all so much. Should we get on with it today? Yes? Okay, great. Headphones. Okay, let's go. When the stencil takes longer than the tattoo. Oh, okay, it's multiple stencils. It's like a puzzle. So yeah, this would take a long time, but it's gonna be worth it. Oh wow. Okay, we've got some freehand as well. Wow, okay. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. The result was so worth the tedious stencil process. Have any of you had a tattoo like this before, where you've had like, I would say that's like what, a quarter sleeve maybe, half sleeve. But if any of you had like a bigger tattoo, kind of like this, where you've had to have multiple stencils put on instead of just like a one big cohesive stencil. I've only had it once, no, twice, with both the sleeves for this one. So obviously I've got a, you know, blast over sleeve. I've got my sleeve won't go any lower than that, but we have a flower here. We can show you that. That was just one stencil, and then the rest of the flowers on my arm were also just separate stencils placed on, but they were kind of spread out because there's like a lot of black work in between, you know, the flowers. But that was a lot of stencil and a lot of like intricateness, and oh my gosh, could you imagine if the tattoo artist put the stencil on in the like wrong place, like it just didn't look right, and then he had to rub it off, but then you would also rub off a little bit of the other stencil, and it just, oh my god, you have to try and patch it. Tedious process, but so worth it. When you give yourself a half sleeve in a night, that honey, no, the hand, honey, no, you have to be joking me. Okay, one, this isn't a half sleeve. Two, this is atrocious. Like, what is even meant to happen here? Like, what is happening? What? So we've got like some mushrooms, a flower maybe, a bee, I don't know. That weird hand tattoo with lines, if you want to call them that. Now, throughout this series, we have seen some terrible self-done tattoos, like terrible. That one might be the worst one because it just doesn't make sense to me in any way, shape or form. I don't want to be mean, you know, like I'm trying to be a nice person, but how can you look at that and think, oh yeah, this looks great, like. Ooh, this is nice. I like this a lot. It's quite a unique tattoo, like it's a butterfly or moth, right? But the style of it, oh wait, I've just noticed that it's snakes. Is that snakes? Oh my god, that's so cool. That took me a minute to notice, obviously, you know me. That's cool. That is really freaking cool. I like that a lot. Like, it's a double whammy. It's like a butterfly, moth, snake situation in a really cool style. It's a really clean tattoo as well and very symmetrical. Gorgeous. Okay, freehand. Ooh. Blue ink on the ear, and it's like swirly whirly. Oh, we have some red or orange. That's red. That is gorgeous. That is a work of art. I really want to get my ears tattooed, but I know like the longevity of them or how well they last isn't that good. Like the legibility of them isn't like the longest or whatever. But if you were to get a simple design, I feel like this would look cool. It might lose some colour here and there. as the years go by. But it's nothing a touch-up can't fix, you know? That is gorgeous. Oh, that just inspires me to get my ears tattooed. I don't know what I'd want. Probably just something really simple like a vine or something like that. You know, just something simple and easy. Do any of you have your ears tattooed? Let me know. How was the process? How was the healing? How was the itchy phase? Because there's nothing worse than having an itchy ear. You don't need to make all your tattoos fat. Why not? I'm confused. That was so cool. I need to watch it again. That's so cool. Like, I wish to see more tattoos like this, like more like body inclusivity and all of that, because, you know, we can't all be Bella Hadid, you know? The caption's pretty cool as well. It says, representation means the world to the girlies who only saw themselves as jokes, sidekicks and weight loss before photos. That's really cool. I stan. I'm all about that. When your tattoo artist provides fidgets so your adrenaline has an outlet and you're surprised your pain tolerance went way up. That's so cool. Oh, it's the same person as well. Oh my gosh, I never tried that before. Has anyone else like used fidget toys while you're getting tattooed? I'm normally one to just like scroll through my phone if I can, because like when you're like laying on your front or something, it's kind of hard. If I'm not talking with a tattoo artist, yeah, I'm normally like on my phone or just gazing off and looking at all the pretty artwork that tattoo artists have. I'd understand that working, to be honest, because it gives your brain something to focus on. I know there's quite a few people that sort of do their work when they get tattooed, you know, start typing away, or artwork as well, you know, just drawing. A colouring book would be incredibly helpful if you're someone that kind of gets bored, or you suffer with pain tolerance, or you're kind of a fidgety person, or you struggle with like mental health issues, you know, ADHD or anything else, anxiety as well. Colouring books are great for anxiety. I personally don't see anything wrong with this. I don't think a tattoo artist would see anything wrong with it, you know, if you're entertained, especially for a long session, you know, that's smart. Good idea. One of the weirdest tattoos I've ever tattooed. What's Jamie got for us this week? I'm not gonna get
worked up this video because I'm sick and tired of letting the traumatization of clients get to me, okay? So, I'm gonna tell you another story time. I'm going to tell you another story time about weird things clients have asked me to tattoo on them. And this one I actually went through it because before you little slags judge me, okay? I didn't realise this was the meaning behind this tattoo. I just thought it was a funky design or something. But he was like, no, this is the meaning. So before you little shits judge me, keep that in mind. So this animator comes into me. He does animation, has this design drawn up of this woman, luscious black hair, really lovely like looking woman. I was like, okay, slay, let's do it. I'm ready to do it. He's like, I want a pin-up of her. I was like, oh, I love pin-ups. I love traditional pin-ups, everything great. I was like, perfect. Book him in, blah, 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 typed away. He goes, I just want to add one small detail. Lay it on me, babes. What we doing? He's like, can we put 13 nipples on her? 13! I'm pretty sure the human anatomy only has 2 nipples at most times. But I was like, okay, do you know what? Maybe it's like an alien sort of character, or maybe like a circus kind of character. You know, that kind of vibe. I was like, okay, weird request, but we'll make it happen. He's also like, oh, I want it lactating. I was like, what is with this guy and the nips? I was like, okay, we're gonna have a lactating woman with 13 nips. Okay, let's do it. But this is where it gets weird. This is where it gets weird. So on the day of the tattoo, he's really happy with the design. Start tattooing it on him. And I was like, why are we doing 13 nipples? Is this like an original character you came up with something? He's like, oh no. You know the woman I drew and came in the first day? I was like, yeah. He's like, that's my mom. I was like, right, okay. And he's like, she recently just passed away and I wanted to get a memorial tattoo. So I'm getting this portrait of her done. I was like, okay. I mean, I get the sentiment why you'd want a pin-up of your mom. Lovely idea. But I was like, why does she have 13 nipples? Is she like part calf or something, or part cow? Like her nipple. Like I by the way, I had the nipples lactating like sprinklers. They were like. So I was like, okay, weird way to represent. I was like, how does this represent your mom? Tell me. This is where he should have stopped. This is where people need to stop telling me everything. I'm not a therapist. How do people expect to dump this on me and me to deal with it later on? Okay. He goes to me, no, the 13 nipples represent each year I was breastfed. And I was like, okay, that means you're breastfed till you're 13. And he was like, oh, no, 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 no. I just meant altogether. And I was like, okay, but 13 years. And he was like, no, we had breaks in between. What do you mean breaks? He's like, oh, it's like sometimes she would breastfeed me till I was like 15, and then a couple of years between that when I was 18. No! That's not okay! You're a grown man! Eat some fucking food!
Okay, a lot to dissect here. Now, as someone that has, lost their mother, my mother is no longer with me. She, died. I understand grief very well. And I understand wanting to get a tattoo for your mum that has passed away. Totally understand that. We don't even need to talk about that, right? That's all good. God. Whether this story is real or not, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't put it past people. I really wouldn't. I'm not gonna comment on the whole breastfeeding thing. Like breastfeeding a 15-year-old or whatever. Like, that's, in my opinion, weird. Okay? Like, this whole thing just sounds so weird and just fetishy. Like, what has 13 nipples? And the whole lactating thing, and just, I can't wrap my head around this. Maybe stick to getting a flower for your mum or something. Okay. That is going to suck. They are gorgeous though, like that is beautiful, but that would feel like pure hell. That would be the most painful tattoo this person has ever gone through, and I'm willing to bet that. Okay, as someone that had their palm tattoo, which is the same kind of feeling as underneath your feet, kind of. I mean, I don't know if there's as many nerve endings in your feet. I don't know. Or like nerves, like, I don't know. This just hurt, okay? So I can imagine this would hurt. But it is gorgeous. And again, with the longevity of that, I don't know. Because people say, palm tattoos fall out straight away. I mean, I'm nearly at 6 months with this one and it's still going strong. It just needs a little touch up around the teeth area and that's it. But I'd imagine like the heel area and like the ball of the foot, I would imagine a lot of ink would come out of that. But then saying that, the artist that did my palm tattoo, Luke Ashley, did someone's bottom of feet. I think it was like a koi fish situation. And I think he posted up a photo of it a couple of weeks after it was done and it looked like it was healing up pretty well. Again, it depends how much do you walk in a day. Like for me, someone that just works at home, I don't walk that much unless I go out, shopping or whatever. But, like I'm quite a stationary person. I imagine something like this would last a bit longer on someone like me. But if you are constantly working, like say you work at a warehouse or something like that, oh, I don't think that would last that long, especially during healing. Like the first 4 weeks of healing a palm tattoo is like detrimental to the tattoo. Like the less you use it, the better. So I'd imagine it's going to be the same for the bottom of your foot. Imagine trying to get time off work for that. Just like, oh hi, yeah, I'd like to book 4 to 6 weeks off. Yeah. No, I'm not going through anything medical or anything like that. I'm getting the bottom of my feet tattooed and I just can't walk. But hey, I'm all for it. It looks great. Do you finally love me more than your dogs? Oh my God. No, it's going to be a confirmation. Oh my God, I will sob. Oh. I can't even explain how much I love dogs. And this just, oh. There is nothing on this planet, and I mean this, I truly, from the bottom of my freaking heart, there is nothing I love on this planet more than dogs, okay? And just that alone has given me so much freaking serotonin. Just, that was great. Being heavily tattooed but having to ask the nurse to take my blood laying down because I faint when I get doctor needles, and then having to get myself a treat after because I was so brave. Oh, I get it though. I'm sure a few of us can relate, but there is such a difference between medical needles and tattoo needles or piercing needles. To be honest, I'm a little bit iffy about piercing needles. Like they scare me a little bit still, but they're not as like scary as like getting a blood test or like an injection like COVID. Like my anxiety was through the freaking roof each time. For the 3 injections, I was like, oh, you know, it is scary, and I don't know why. I just think just medical stuff in itself is scary, whether you have anxiety or not around medical stuff, which I do. It's just like, it's so more intense, and the needles are much bigger when it comes to medical stuff. Like they're freaking, well, not huge, but I don't know, they're just scary. Okay, do any of you feel the same, or are you just like, no, a needle's a needle? Ink cup, right? Okay, okay. Oh my gosh! Why do I like this chaos? This is so... I love it. Holy cow! That is incredible. Like, that is a work of art in my opinion. It's not like your traditional work of art where someone has like painted or drawn an image, but it's still really artistic. Like, I like that a lot. How do you feel about that? Is that just a bit too artsy for you? Or is it like, whoa, that's pretty cool, I have ideas?
I'm literally crying over my nails right now because they're so ugly. Oh my god, okay. This is what I wanted,
Okay, so like a
this
demonic
is
goat
the pastels,
situation.
and this is what I got.
Oh, oh, oh my god. What the hell happened there? There is absolutely no definition within that tattoo at all. Like, where did the face of the goat go? It's gone. It doesn't exist. I would be immensely pissed off about that. But like, how does that even happen? Because I'm sure there would have been a stencil maybe, you know, like a guide of what's happening. So how does it even end up like that? Just incredibly unreadable. Unless it's maybe a cover-up, that's the only thing that can maybe make sense, but it's something. It's definitely oh, I don't even think you can like rectify that. Like, how can you even fix that? I guess maybe if you went to a talented tattoo artist that specializes in putting white ink over black ink, it could maybe be fixable. Or again, there's always the laser route, but not everyone wants to do laser. Point of view, you're on that stage of the healing process. Oh no, don't actually touch it. Oh, I mean, the struggle is real. That is dry and flaky and very, very peely. I just know that if my best friend Yasmin was watching this right now, the temptation for her to start peeling that off would be insane. I know there's quite a few people that watch my videos also that are the kind of people that like to peel and pick things and like watches all of that Dr. Pimple Popper bullshit. Like, so I feel incredibly lucky that I don't have that sort of urge to peel and pick things. I just leave it, and yeah, it looks gross and horrible, and you leave what I like to call gothic snow everywhere. It's not pretty.
Listen up, folks. This is for real. I got a tattoo yesterday. They posted about it. I was really excited, and now I'm looking at it day after. I don't know if I like it. And, okay, so here's the problem. I would just ask my friends, like, hey, kitty girl, you're close to me. Like, just tell me what's up. But everyone's asleep right now. It is 11:52 on a Sunday morning afternoon. Nobody is working now. So I'm ready. I'm literally about to have an anxiety attack. Like, I'm a little panicked. I'm gonna freak out, gonna crawl out of my skin because I can't tell if this is a good tattoo, nor if it looks like, I am non-binary, so sometimes I like to look a little more masked. I was like, let me get a darker tattoo, like let me get a gray wash sort of tattoo. Never done one of those. Okay, so don't freak out. Do it, it'll look bad. It'll look bad. Does that look like it matches me? Oh my god. Okay.
I'd like to see the tattoo up close because I couldn't see what that was. Like, I cannot even say, yeah, that looks bad or that looks good, because I couldn't see it. Like, this is just a little PSA out here. If you're going to do content like this, please, can we see a close-up? Because I can't give you an opinion, you know, as a viewer, as to whether that's good or bad or not. But I can understand, you know, the worries, I guess. It's not something you're used to, because by the looks of things, they have quite sort of fine line tattoos. So to go from like fine line tattoos to something bigger and heavier, that is a huge contrast, and it can make you think, oh God, what did I do? You know, like it's a big leap into a different world. So I can understand the concerns. I think I might have, yes, thank God. I have been tagged in another one. I'll just show you here. So you can see my favourites. That's the one we just reacted to. There's their face again. So hopefully we either get answers or we get to see it up close.
Okay, LOLL, for it to like actually show you it's a tattoo. I can't show it fully. TikTok will actually, excuse me. So we can't do that one, but I'll show you kind of it. So, if we just like block
okay,
that guy out, it is the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland with a mushroom. The ink is, that's where all the ink is at right now. This looks a lot more cleared up when you cannot, without it, right? Okay. So I think the tattoo matches my aesthetic pretty well. I also think he did a bang-up job.
Is alright.
Yeah. That is my tattoo. If that changes your mind on anything, just please lie to me and tell me it looks good, okay?
It's not a bad tattoo, let's face it. I was expecting worse. I don't even know what I was expecting, but I thought it would be like a terrible tattoo or something. But it just looks normal. Again, they do have like a sickened skin on the tattoo, so there's like a big ink blob there, which will obviously come off when the second skin comes off. So it does look a lot darker and heavier and thicker as well, because obviously all the ink's, you know, done what it does overnight, and it just looks a lot darker and heavier. But I think once the second skin is off and then it's healed and it's all like settled down and everything, I think this person is going to end up loving their tattoo. I don't see why they wouldn't. It's cool.
So like, do you accept forms of payment other than—
Oh wow, okay, hang on. So what's happening here is a stitch. So there's a section there that I need to read. Okay, it doesn't pause in time. Right, okay. Trying to land a tattoo artist love interest like they do in the novels, and then they've stitched it with an update.
So like, do you accept forms of payment other than cash?
I need to look at the comments because there's a chance they might already be together. There's no confirmation as to whether they were already dating, because it could have just been like a funny TikTok. Again, it could just be a funny TikTok, but say this is real. Pretend that this is real and you ask a tattoo artist, do you accept any other payments than cash? You are an asshole. Straight up arsehole behaviour. That's just disgusting and gross, right? No matter who you are, what the situation is, no matter what the report is, just disgusting, okay? Just don't do that to your tattoo artist in any way, shape or form, even if it's a joke. Well, it depends on the relationship you have with your tattoo artist, because some people go to the same tattoo artist over and over and over again, and you might have like a banter situation going on. Whatever, we'll excuse that, okay? But like, if you're just, one, how's the tattoo artist gonna pay their bills like that with peace and love? What do they do? Like, bring up British Gas and be like, oh, sorry, I can't make my payment this month. Yeah, I'm short by like 50 quid. I did get some naked bum fun though. Is there any way, you know, like, you can just let me off? No, it's just not. It's so inappropriate. So inappropriate. Ugh. Okay, I'm going to react to one more for this video. Graham's reaction to my chest tattoo. Okay. Oh, bless him. Oh, that got me. the thing that gets me is that this grandma, I don't want to make assumptions or anything, but they look like they would be the most wholesome grandma. You know, the kind that would bake you cookies and make sure you've eaten and then make sure you've eaten more and then made sure you've eaten more than the more that you should have been eating. Made sure you have drank enough, make sure you're warm and cozy, you have a blanket, there's something on TV that you enjoy watching, you know, and sometimes they'll ask you, you know, a little question here and there about their crossword. I'm getting too into this, but they look like so wholesome. And that pure shock reaction. Anyways, that is it for this video. I hope you all stay safe and well, and until my next one, bye.